They show the boyfriend get torn apart, of course.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, like I said, the remake is okay, but it's almost shot for shot the same thing. There's not really any surprises if you.
There's no new stuff to it. They didn't add anything.
And it's missing Rutger Hauer, who's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, he's awesome.
If you do you know who that is?
No.
He's in Sin City for a bit.
He's in Blade Runner. He's the villain in Blade Runner. The original one, the blonde guy at the end.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm bad with names.
Yeah, that's Rutger Hauer. He's in Batman Begins. He's the head of Wayne Enterprises until the end when he gets fired.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Maybe that's why Nolan hired him for Batman Begins, because he likes the Hitcher so much. I know that he loves Blade Runner.
Oh. Well, I would imagine a lot of filmmakers probably like that movie.
Do you have any Swan facts for that one?
I did a.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They're front loaded.
Yeah, I think you.
My turn. Oh man. My number 4 is Nightmare on Elm Street.
No running in the hallway.
The original.
The original,
Okay.
not the.
I think
the
we've established that you guys hate the remake.
Well, it could have been 3. It could have,
No,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, I got you.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, anyone listening to this probably they have to know the Nightmare on Elm Street story.
Yeah.
That's Freddy Krueger, but yeah, I want to say it's only my number 4. Like my reasoning for The Shining, which is I haven't seen it in forever, and I know you guys both like the original, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah. No, that movie really creeped me out. Just the whole story, or the way Freddy is, like how he can kill you in your dreams. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you're a kid watching that movie, you're like, oh my god, I don't want to go to sleep, and then you stand and like you just start, I remember watching that movie in my house and then going to sleep in my room, and then like I swear I could see, like my closet was open, but I swear I could see someone in there. I'm like, oh my god, I was like, you just go into the covers and you're just like, oh, don't do anything, please, and you just, that's my experience with it in the beginning when I first saw it. Watching it now, I like it more, but I don't think I've seen it in maybe like 2 years, the original.
Okay, yeah, that's not too long.
No, but
it's been a while since I've seen it.
I got to watch the original what was it, like a couple years back, maybe 2014, 2015.
Okay.
With La Jolla, the ArcLight were doing a bunch of retro.
That's right,
Yeah,
yeah.
for Halloween.
Oh, nice.
They were doing a bunch of
Have you checked out their schedule? Are they doing stuff like that this October?
I'm sure they are, but I haven't checked it out.
I'm gonna check it out
Nice.
tomorrow when I'm at work.
But yeah, I got to watch this movie, Nightmare, on the big screen, and it was just me and my friend. Nobody else went, so it was as if we had rented out the theater.
That's amazing. What an experience just to be there by yourselves. That's so cool.
And the guy came in and he was like, yeah, so enjoy your private screening of Nightmare.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
You said that happened to you when you watched From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yep.
Last year or 2 years ago?
Nobody comes
How
out.
come no one knows?
That's crazy.
I also went, this is kind of off topic, but I went to ArcLight that same season a few years back, and we watched the original Scream. Again, I was the only one in the theater.
That's crazy.
And I guess for what it's worth, it's better that way, but it makes me feel bad because I'm like, now they're going to end up ditching these because nobody's going to watch.
Yeah,
They're not
exactly.
making money off of them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
crazy.
another little fun story. They didn't want to sell me tickets because we were like 10 minutes late, and I'm like, well, I don't give a shit. I've seen this movie a million times.
Yeah.
I just want to fucking watch the movie. And they were like, I'm sorry, the screening has already started. Like, we can't sell you tickets after the screenings are.
But there's no one in the theater.
And there's nobody in there.
Didn't want to start it.
And
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. They didn't want to start it. They
damn
didn't
it.
want to waste the electricity.
But when we went in there, it was already playing. They were already playing it. I don't know.
Maybe
They're probably going to shut it off in a couple of minutes or something.
If it's on the server, I think it's required that the server run the film, but you can turn the bulb and the projector on and off.
I do know that.
And maybe they just didn't want to waste the hours on the bulb running it for 1 or 2 people.
Oh wow!
No, I had 5 people with us. And the tickets up there are ridiculous. It's like $15
they're like 15 flat rate all the time.
Why she almost turned us away is beyond me.
Yeah, you can make money right now. You can make what, $75?
Yeah.
I was fucking
as opposed to not making any money.
I couldn't believe it. But anyway, I went to the snack bar and they sold me the goddamn tickets anyway. So I got to see Scream because that's one of my. It's not on this list because I didn't want to be too basic or whatever. Everybody loves Everybody knows I love.
It's your personal five, man.
But yeah, I got to see Scream too, so that was awesome. Anyway, I'm sorry I didn't mean to take up your time.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's more to talk about. I think we're done with mine.
Moving on?
Yeah, let's move on.
My turn? My number 4, The Thing.
I don't know what the hell's in there, but it's weird and pissed off, whatever it is.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
It's from 1982, John Carpenter movie.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, because we haven't mentioned it enough so far today, I'm going to blow you guys' mind, because this blew my mind when I read this yesterday. When this opened in 1982, it opened on June 25th, 1982. Do you know what other movie opened up on that day?
Well, no movie was it?
Blade Runner.
Oh, really?
Blade Runner opened up on that day. Both movies did not do well at all.
Yeah, they're definitely movies that have aged way better.
But they're like huge cult hits now.
Yeah.
Yeah, people say The Thing is revered as one of the best.
Yeah, there's huge fan following.
Ever,
yeah, for both of those.
So that when I read that yesterday, I was like, "What? That's crazy!" Like both those movies opened up on that day, and neither of them did well. To be fair, that was like the summer of like E.T. and everything. So that
okay, I was going to ask what movies were out on that around that time.
E.T. So that dominated.
Well, yeah.
That summer. But when I read that yesterday, I was like, "What? That's insane."
I thought I had read something that The Thing almost sank Carpenter's career or something.
It was his first movie that he made for like a big studio because it was Universal. I think all of his other films before that were all like basically more independent movies. It only cost like $15 million, and it made like 19 or 20 altogether. So it made money, probably not as much as they were hoping it would.
That's obviously before inflation or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it made about 19 million at that point in time. The premise is there's like a team in the Antarctic, and they come across a helicopter's like chasing a dog and kills the dog, and then the 2 guys get killed. So they go back to the base. It was a Norwegian base camp, and find like everything was burned. They find a couple of bodies, but there's something not right about the bodies. Like they look funny. They don't look human. And it turns out that they had found a flying saucer buried underneath the ice that had been there for thousands and thousands of years, and this alien entity got out. But what's cool about the movie is you never see the alien. It assimilates when it takes over your body and kind of like assimilates you, but you never really see
the actual
its
form.
True form.
Yeah.
You always see the form of whatever body it took, and as it distorts that body. So it goes back. It follows these guys back to their base camp, and then one by one, like someone is getting assimilated, and then either getting killed by the creature or gets assimilated themselves.
Yeah,
and it works. I think it works really well as like just a really good paranoia movie, because for most of the movie you're never really sure.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out
like who is infected and who isn't.
Even that huge cliffhanger ending.
Oh,
you don't know what. Yeah. Which one is the alien?
Yeah, the ending is great with Kurt Russell and Keith David just sitting there, and like they know that they don't trust each other, but they know that one of them is the alien, so they just basically sit there out in the cold and freeze to death.
I saw Keith David in person at Son of Monsterpalooza. He was there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's sick.
They I saw this on the big screen I think 2 years ago. The Ken was playing it for one of their midnight movies.
Nice.
They played the thing, and I had never seen it on the big screen, so I got a chance to go, and that was great. And then they played like Big Trouble in Little China like the next week. That was awesome too. But yeah, like we mentioned the ending and just how cool that was. These are my notes I'm looking at. There's another great scene where you don't know who's affected, and they have like the blood test. Mm-hmm. And Kurt Russell says, I'm gonna like threaten the blood by basically taking like a heated copper wire and touching it to everyone's like blood sample, saying that whoever's I touch, like if they're the creature, this is going to affect the blood sample. And there's just that scene where you're waiting for him to check everyone's blood, and everyone's just sitting there, and you don't know who it is until he gets to like the last guy or the second to last guy, and he touches it, and like the whole thing explodes, and then the guy goes crazy, and then it sets off like basically I think the climax of the film sets off from there. But that's probably my favorite scene in the movie. And Ennio Morricone did the music for it.
Oh yeah.
We talked about that during Hateful Eight, because Hateful Eight is kind of like that, where you don't know who the bad guys are, and they're all sitting there like in the snow and in the storm and everything, and Hateful Eight is kind of an homage to The Thing, and that's why
I can see that. That's
why I think like some of the temporary tracks that Tarantino used that ended up making it into the movie are tracks from Morricone's score for The Thing. I don't know about any of the other movies, but I know this was the first one. The first John Carpenter movie that he didn't do the score for. That's an outside person did the score for, and that was Morricone. But I think most, if not all, of the John Carpenter movies, Carpenter does the score, right?
Yeah. Now, did you like the prequel? It's a prequel, right?
I never saw the prequel.
Okay.
It's just called Thing.
Yeah, I think it's called Thing.
Yeah.
But it's about the Norwegians, right? It's about.
They never pushed it as a prequel. It was more supposedly like a remake, and then so that was kind of a surprise that it's a build up to when they introduced the dog.
Because like I haven't seen it, but doesn't it end with like the helicopter chasing the dog?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's to play off from the beginning of the original.
Yeah.
So I was actually really impressed with. I think that's a really good movie, but the
prequel.
Yeah. But its weak points, or a lot of its effect. They went to digital with a lot of the effects.
Oh, see, and now the original is cool because it's all
practical.
It's all practical.
And nuts. I feel like the original is like the pinnacle of what everybody tries to do when they're doing gags like for gore and stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like they screened that movie.
I have a good story that I just read a couple days ago when I was writing my notes. The scene where the guy has a heart attack and the doctor's trying to revive him with the paddles, and he goes to push down on the chest cavity, and the guy's chest just completely collapses, and then the monster is inside the chest and then bites the guy's arm off. That's practical effect. They used a real amputee for that, wearing a mask of the doctor's face, which isn't great looking, but when I was reading those notes, they said everyone's going to focus on like the gore and the guy getting his arms bit off, that they're not really looking at his face, so you never know that that's just a guy wearing a mask who's a real amputee.
That's cool. Did you in Stranger Things they talk about it a little in the scene where their science teacher meets the people who are looking for 11, and he's on a date with some girl, and they're watching The Thing, and he talks about how they did that in special effect, and it's with melted bubble gum. And do you know if that's true?
I don't.
Do you know?
I don't know.
I mean, I believed it when I saw Stranger Things. Like, okay, yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's a lot of practical effects. Like the two guys that did the effects work on that movie are a guy by the name of Rob Botton. and Stan Winston, who did a lot of practical effects work in the 80s and 90s. I think Stan Winston is dead, but I think Bolton's still alive. I don't know how old he is, but I know he did